What's up, everybody? Welcome back to All Things Nerdy Podcast with Nate and Joe. I'm Nate. That's Joe. Today, unfortunately, our guest had to reschedule, had some live things come up. It happens. So we are super excited. This is going to be our first episode of just me and Joe. And I apologize that I'm in my car and all that. I usually try to be in, a better setting than this, but I'm on the road. As y'all know, me and my wife, we are doing like a little road trip through the States, ending up in New York and then flying from New York to Spain. So right now we're in Huntsville, Alabama, and just hanging out to go see the Space and Rocket Center and all that. But again, excited to talk with y'all, just me and Joe, nerd out. Y'all can find out a little bit more about us. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask away. Joe?
Yep. So we had talked about doing this like every 20th episode, just get on here chatting with just me and Nate, answering some questions from the audience, that kind of stuff, just general chat. So excited to do it a little bit early, but it worked out anyway because we do have a super special guest like on what would have been our 20th episode. And Nate, I'll actually let you tell a little bit about that special guest if you want.
Yeah, so as y'all know, we try to get different people from, different walks of life and parts of the world who have different, nerddoms and things like that. So for our 20th episode, we got very lucky. Someone that I know met a gentleman named Terry and mentioned to Terry that he should be on our podcast. And Terry reached out to me. I talked to him for a minute and was like, hey, we'd love to have you. It'd be really awesome. Terry actually is a writer / editor for the comics of Marvel and has written a ton of different comics and things like that. So we are elated, overly excited, super pumped to have him on our 20th episode. It's going to be a milestone for us. And just like I'm a huge nerd, so I cannot wait to talk about comics and the behind the scenes and what goes into them and all those things. So that will be our 20th episode. So instead of it being just me and Joe like we had planned, we are going to do that now, especially now that we're having to do this early. And this might end up what we do anytime we have, one of our guests cancel, because life does happen. There's nothing you can do about it, right? So anytime we have a guest cancel, instead of just finding a last second fill in or doing like a pre-recorded episode, like you might just get me and Joe on here chatting, chilling, hanging out, nerding out together.
Yep. Steph says that's so awesome. I definitely agree. It would be on the 13th, so that would be the kind of the air date of our July 13th would be the air date of our 20th episode. So one, excited for it to be 20 episodes in. Like what a journey, right? Like that is insane. And two, just especially for the guest. Oh, we got Muhammad coming in with OMG. We know Faisal's big into the comics.
I knew you'd be one to say something. That's right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. One of our biggest guests to date, so I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing, you can see that I'm standing up. Normally I sit down, but I wanted you guys to be able to get a good view of our new merch that we have. So look at this shirt here. Got our logo, All Things Nerdy Podcast on it. The shirt itself's like super great fabric, fits well, just super breathable and everything. But my wife, Nicole, thanks Nicole, actually made these for me and Nate, and can make them for others as well. If anyone's interested, just let us know. Just
and you get them at cost.
Yeah,
you get them at cost. It's not like a money-making thing. It's just like, if you really like it and you want a shirt, like you can get a shirt because we think it's awesome. The whole point of this podcast is not to be monetized. So we're not trying to make any cash. It's just all at cost and stuff like that. But the shirt is really nice. I don't have mine on because I'm a big idiot and I'm on the road and, I lose track of things constantly. I have it. It's in my bag somewhere. Just don't know where. But I'll have it on for next week. But they are super soft, very comfy, and they look so good. I love it. It's nice.
Yep. Well, Stephanie says, what has been the biggest growth you have seen coming up on the 20th episode for y'all?
Joe, you want to take that first, and then I'll answer it.
Well, coming from when I think like a technical standpoint, right? Like when we first started, I mean, at least on my end, the sound quality was awful. You could hear me breathing most of the time. Like, but we've gotten some actually like legit mics and stuff, and like the audio quality is a lot better. So I've seen a lot of growth from that end. We figured out like how to get our podcast on, the Apple Podcast, Spotify, the Amazon podcast. So we've had that growth. We've seen our LinkedIn following grow to over 200. Facebook, we got a TikTok. We recently got a YouTube and started uploading the videos there. So from like that standpoint of growth, like I feel like we've done a ton, and it seems like at first we were trying to figure things out, and now we're like, all right, we got everything everywhere. Now it's kind of perfected. So, what about you?
Yeah. So I agree with you completely. I think we have upgraded our audio. We are trying to put out like the best product possible, but realistically, we just want to do something that everybody can enjoy. And I think the biggest thing that has changed is how reassured we are in what we're doing. Because again, it's not trying to be monetized. We're not trying to be sponsored. We just like having people come on here, talk about things that they're passionate about, and give people a platform to do that. And I think that has been the biggest thing for me because when we originally started, we're like, oh, we're not sure, what are we going to do? How are we going to go about it? But now, like, we have landed on it. We love it. This is what we enjoy. This is what we want to do. We love people, giving people a space to just come on and be like, I love being an entrepreneur and talking about it, or I love birds of prey and just chatting about it, having the platform to talk about those things. So,
Yeah, this Faisal's comment that he just put goes perfectly with that. Like you guys have been killing it. Thank you. Educational and entertaining. Just especially with like I just think back to last week with the harmonicas. Like I did not know pretty much anything about harmonicas other than I've like had a super cheap one and like played on it before, and he just got down in a way that I wasn't really sure you could. So
yeah, same for me. Like, I'm so musically challenged. Like, I can't do anything with music. Poor Steph. My wife has to like listen to me sing when we're in the car and stuff. God, it's awful. But it was just so cool to learn about the differences. And I didn't even know you tuned harmonicas. I thought they just came, play ready. And like, you just, when they died, you just threw them away.
yeah, I didn't know they came in different keys either. I mean, I should have guessed, right, with it being a musical instrument, but I was like, oh, wow, okay. The more you know. And I think that's another point of growth too. Like all of the different things that we've like had our guests come on and talk through, like the travel hacks was super eye opening. Never going to be a person with 14 different credit cards, but just being able to
Yeah.
understand how to take advantage of those like offers and stuff. And just all the different people that we've had come on have always offered some sort of new insight and like stuff we didn't know about something.
Yeah, and we got some good ones coming up too. I mean, of course, our 20th episode, but we have some other people that we're talking to right now that we're trying to get dates and everything lined up for some really exciting, talking points. So,
That
um,
that goes perfectly with what Keaton just asked. Are there any upcoming episodes y'all excited about? Nathan just touched on it, but I know we got the one we've already mentioned with the Marvel comics. Then we have I think Lord of the Rings coming up soon, right? Um,
mhm.
what are some of the other ones?
So we have a development one that's supposed to be coming up talking about, just actual development and things like that. So it's more I'm gonna focus on the ones we actually have nailed down. We have some people in the works. We're talking, trying to figure out dates. We need to do like a Calendly to set it up or something to make our lives easy. Basically, what happens is we lock people in. Joe reminds me that we've locked them in, and then I have to reschedule the people that I told can do dates. So thanks, Joe, for keeping us on point. But I think for me, I think July 13th because I like comics. I've always been a big Marvel fan. So for me, that's a big one. Plus, it's our 20th episode. I don't want to just keep harping on that one, but I am stoked. So,
Yeah, I mean, oh, we got a question from Stephanie. Joe, I see the superhero things behind you. In your opinion, whole opinions can be debatable, especially with Nate. Who is the strongest superhero? And the second question, Marvel or DC? Oh, so strongest superhero. That one's tough. It's like Nate. Nate, you answer strongest superhero first. I want to see what you think. Who you think is the strongest superhero?
so I'm gonna just answer all of it real quick. So Marvel versus DC is different. So if we're talking like live action, it's Marvel. If we're talking animated, it's DC. If we're talking comics, I do think Marvel is better. I think the differences in their heroes, their anti-heroes, and things like that, um, are really, really good. I love DC, but also I think DC has some boring ones like Superman. Sorry, guys. So and things like that. The strongest. So that's tough, especially like if you're looking at comics versus like animated or like movies and things of that nature. Because in comics, it depends on what comic arc you're talking about and things like that, like Bloodlusted Superman or or the different versions of like Thor or like World Destroyer Hulk and things like that. Like it depends on what comic arc you're talking about specifically. I can tell you like who my favorite is. I don't think they're the strongest, although like could they destroy everyone in the Justice League? 100%, right? He has the backup for all that stuff. So Batman, but is he the strongest? No.
No. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna go. Just I'm more of like a movie person, so I'm gonna go Marvel on that. Just every movie I've seen, Marvel versus DC, like Marvel's gonna take the cake, at least in my opinion. Um, and then as far as like when I think strongest superheroes, like, I'm gonna keep it to like non-animated, non-comics, like movies or small series. Like kind of the Eternals comes to mind, just because they're like thousands of years old. They're godlike. So I think like maybe Icarus from the Eternals or something like that. One of those kind of main people from there. But that'd be like who I think if I'm like, oh, the strongest superhero, that kind of thing. But
Also, I want to throw out there Scarlet Witch is amazing. Like she's a BA. Like I'm here for it. She's awesome.
yeah, she's pretty tough. We've got a question from Steven to piggyback Stephanie. What defines a superhero? Special powers? Is Batman a superhero? I mean, Batman is definitely a superhero. I mean, even if he doesn't have powers. But hey,
You know,
what defines a superhero?
so that's a great question, right? I think what defines a superhero is actions and intent. And like so and the morality, right? Because if you look at an anti-hero, what sets them apart from a superhero is how they go about achieving their mission. So if you look at like the Punisher overall killing bad guys, but he's killing people. So he's an anti-hero. Like he is willing to kill people. Whereas a superhero, a lot of times, kind of also what makes them a little boring really is their morality and the fact that they don't want to kill people. So like the biggest argument comes up is Batman a superhero? In the DC world, a lot of people consider him a meta person because of his how smart he is. I know he's rich, I know he's got all the gadgets, but he's also considered one of the smartest people in DC. So they actually believe there is an argument to be made that he is a meta-human due to his intelligence and his ability to learn different fight. He is like familiar and has mastered like every fighting style and stuff like that. Like no normal human being can do those things. I know it's a comic, but ultimately, like he is not just a rich guy that has gadgets. He took the time to do the training and to do all those things. All right, stop coming for Batman. He's amazing. Um, but I think ultimately what makes a superhero is the intent, the morality, and the actions behind it.
I don't know, but they could really anyone be Batman with that amount of money and time on their hands, right? Like,
No, I mean, no, I couldn't be Batman because I'm fat and out of shape. You put me out there, like I got the money, I got fun little gadgets. I'm gonna be over here breathing hard in like two fist throws, right? Like you kick me one time in my leg, I'm gonna go home crying. I don't want to do that. So I mean, I guess like if I had that kind of drive and commitment, but ultimately, no, not everybody can do it. The dude he has a superhero drive and commitment. But I mean, and to go back to the argument I was going to make, like the argument is about anti-heroes versus heroes is how many lives would be saved if Batman just killed Joker, right? Like it's an argument, but because he is a superhero, he doesn't believe in killing. However, his belief in not killing is killing other people by not killing the Joker. Now, granted, I know it's comics, it's entertainment, and like you got to take the realism aspect out of it, but there is that argument to be made.
Stephen coming for Batman again. Superman can kill Batman with freaking laser beams. I will come to Batman's defense here. He'll never put himself in that position. He's always going to have kryptonite on him. Like he's a smart dude.
So so Batman is the ultimate plot armor, right? I get that, and that is the biggest like knock on Batman. There's been so many comics where he's gotten out of situations that he should not get out of because of plot armor, and the whole if you give him prep time, I get it. But A goes back to his intelligence. The dude can prep for anything, can fight through any situation. But if we want to get on the Batman versus Superman, okay, you don't want to do that. But if we want to get onto it, I'm prepared to have that conversation. I've had this conversation so many times in my life. And A, Batman would never destroy, or Superman would never destroy Batman with laser eyes because of his morality. That's his biggest weakness, is how he views humans. He would never do that.
That's fair. Well, Keaton coming us with a more of a serious question. Who is y'all's superhero in y'all's life?
Joe, I'll let you take that one.
Let's see. That's when you got to think about for a little bit, right? Is it just? I mean, my first immediate answer is like I kind of want to say like my wife, right? She helps raise 5 kids. We have 26 animals. I mean, she puts up with me. I feel like you have to have some sort of superhero powers to just do that last part alone, let alone add in the kids and the animals. What about you, Nate?
Uh, so I'm not gonna say my wife just because I don't because you said your wife. But my wife is absolutely amazing. Let me say that. Who's the superhero in my life? Dude, that's gotta be my granny, man. I freaking love my granny more than anything else. She's absolutely amazing. She's a freaking trooper. She always keeps me like level headed and grounded. If I come at my granny with some kind of nonsense, she's the first person to call me on it. She'll be like, Nate, you're an idiot. And I'll be like, all right, I respect that. I get it. You know, outside of that, it's got to be my good friends Keaton and J Boogie Cox and you, Joe. And honestly, Joe, I think you're a real life superhero. You have like 36 kids and like 9,000 animals. Plus, you do CrossFit. Plus, you go to the gym. Plus, and like at lunch, you're like, I'm gonna go help feed the kids. If I did everything that you did, it would be nap time come lunch.
Nap time. Oh, that does sound great some days. Right now we're kind of dealing with the stomach bug. Like a couple of the kids in Nicole are down with it, but you want to talk superhero? You're literally just like a superhero mentality. You just literally uprooted your entire life just to go move to a different country. Like I feel like that is part of something that would be a superhero quality. Like
You say
you're going
that.
to
I'm gonna
Spain, man.
disagree.
You're going to Spain.
I feel like most superheroes are very like city oriented, like Batman, Gotham, right? Like and then you look like I don't know. I guess there's worlds too. Like if you look at Marvel, they have a lot of world specific people, but it's fine. But so yeah, I mean, it uprooted me and my wife, for the fun of it, and we're gonna see how it works out. It'll be fun.
I mean, that's courage, right? Like I guess bravery and courage are the same thing, but that's like you have to have like a nerves of steel to be able to go through with something they do, and then taking the like this whole next few months before you even go to Spain, right? You're traveling, going across the United States on a road trip. Like this, it takes a lot of effort and commitment for sure.
We have been very blessed to be able to have the opportunity to do this, and we have great friends who are willing to put us up and house us along the way and stuff like that. So I'm a very talkative person. Everywhere I go, I make friends and talk to people and things like that. So luckily, our whole U.S. road trip, we have people to see and stay with and stuff like that. And all that. But Joe, why it's just me and you? I want to talk about your animals, and I want to give you a second to highlight a day in the life of Joseph Jewell. Right? Talk us about like real quick, not even like a minute per. List your animals. Go.
Okay, a list of the animals. There are 26 of them. I'll get the easy ones out of the way first. I guess we got 3 dogs, so a husky, a Yorkie, and a Frenchie. Got 3 cats. Let's see. Then we have we have one goldfish. It's not really a goldfish. It's one of those blood parrot like chinchilla. It's like this big. Then we have 3 snakes. We got 2 different types of lizards. So a bearded dragon and a Uromastyx. We have a tortoise, a turtle. We have 4 sugar gliders. We have a chinchilla. We have 2 hamsters, and then we have 3 naked guinea pigs that are called skinny pigs. 2 are babies that one of them just had. Um, and we have a ferret, and then of course everyone knows, last but not least, is my sidekick right here, our parrot. So I think that is everything. I didn't count as I was going. I should have, but I think that's like 26.
All right. And for everybody out there, I have 0 animals and 0 kids. It's so funny. Me and Joe are like polar opposites, and yet we get along so well and things of that nature. For everybody that doesn't know, me and Joe actually worked together. It is what brought us together years and years ago. And Joe is a very quiet, keep to himself person. And they put me right next to him, and they put me in front of us, another person who was very quiet and kept to himself, who didn't want to talk to me. Um, 100% Dr. Doolittle. It
Steven,
blows my mind.
who?
Jesus. Uh, but poor Joe, they put me next to him and I'm loud, right? I talk and talk and talk and never shut up. And Joe would be like on the phone. I'd be like, Joe. And he'd be like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, I don't care. Hang up. Get off the phone. I got to talk to you. And stuff like that. And we've just been like bros ever since. And like, but like, I have no kids, no animals. I travel, I go, I do. And then Joe has an army of kids and an even bigger army of animals. But yeah, like nerdiness brings us together. Like we have texts and stuff outside of, just our podcast. We're always talking about anime and video games and stuff like that. Like we just recorded a little video. I don't know if we posted it yet or not, but like on my road trip, I stopped in through Birmingham and we stopped at like a local game shop and recorded a quick video and stuff like that. So like our nerddom is always bringing us together and allowing us, like giving us something to talk about. We talk almost every day. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what how nerddom can just bring people from all parts of life, all different personalities together, just to talk about stuff that's, well, I would say cool, um,
Uh,
but nerdy. We have a lot of comments that came in. Steven says, moving to Spain, does that mean you now become a soccer slash football fan?
uh, so I was a semi. So one of my good buddies is a football fan. I've always loved FIFA. I used to play some FIFA. I was never very good at it. But so I've kind of been a soccer fan, football fan, whatever you want to call it. I guess if I'm moving to Spain, might as well get used to calling it football, and things like that. But I am excited to see the culture surrounding the football there. So yes, I want to go to a Barcelona. I want to go to a Madrid game. Like I want to see how crazy these people can, because I've heard nothing but insane, like cool stories about it. So like I cannot wait to go and check it out.
That's probably going to be pretty intense when it comes to soccer. Got another one from Stephanie. If you could have any magical animal as a pet, what would it be? Ooh, hey, do you have something off the top of your head?
Uh, a, I would want a magical pet that could be invisible and go unnoticed, just so I wouldn't know it was there.
Low maintenance is what I'm hearing. Let me
Yeah.
think. I would either want to go big with like a giant dragon, or just kind of different and cool with like a hippogriff, right? Like a bunch of different animals combined together. Those are the
Hippogriff
two
is
that kind of
cool.
pop. Yeah, those are two that pop into my head. Like, but can you imagine just a dragon sitting on your roof? Yeah, come mess with our house. Like, no, I'll pass. Oh man.
I,
Well,
I guess I would want an animal that could control other animals. That way I can just have all the animals without
all the
owning any of the animals.
and then Keaton threw up a question. He said, "Okay, I'll lighten it up. Who wins, Deku or the flashy Hashira?"
I don't think that lightens it up at all. I think we're about to get into like probably a heated debate here because I know like Deku. I know Joe is not a huge fan of Deku, so and, man, the flashy Hashira is so good. Joe, what do you think?
Are we talking like Deku, like full power at the end of like what we've seen so far in the anime? If so, then I mean, it. I don't want to give away any spoilers in case anyone hasn't seen it, but I would say like that final episode of that My Hero Academia. If it's that Deku and he's at full strength, I'd say you could take him.
So I love the flashy Hashira. He is amazing. Dude's got just insane. And the two demons they face are incredible and super strong, and they're upper rank and all that. So that is impressive. However, I think, like Joe said, if you take season 6 Deku he's gonna be hard to beat because he's like, I mean, he's climbing in strength and power and ability and stuff like that. He's gonna be tough to beat for a Hashira because a Hashira is still just a human with no quirks, just like good at what they do, you know. But it'll be tough. I'm gonna say Deku.
Yeah. Faisal jumped in. I guess we'll do the dragon comment with Dracarys. Kind of love a little Game of Thrones mention there.
Game of Thrones was so good. Season 8 is terrible. I hate it.
Yeah, just killed it with the last season. But pre-season 8, I would agree. It was really great.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was easily like going to be considered the best TV show ever. And then season 8 came out, and it's like, no.
It's like, nope, ruined it. Well, it looks like we lost Nate for a second. Let's see, do we have any more comments that came through? First one with WoW, I would assume that would be talking about the 26 different animals. Oh, Nate is back with us.
Yep, I'm here. Sorry, guys.
Get a phone call.
I did get a phone call, actually. Yeah.
But you're back.
So, did I miss anything?
Nope. You're only going for like a second. So.
No.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? That completely threw me off. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Joe.
We're talking about Deku versus Flashy Hashira, but I mean, we kind of wrapped that up though. But who do you think in My Hero Academia right now, like if they fought right now, like who would win between Deku and was it Shigaraki?
Shigaraki.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to pull for the good guy, but like if you take it just where we're at right now and you base it fully off the anime, and I haven't read the manga or anything like that, so I don't know what it leads into, but if you just base it off season 6 where it's at, it's hard to see without some more development. And now, granted, Deku is getting stronger. Vigilante Deku was awesome, right? It is still hard to see how he beats Shigaraki, knowing that Shigaraki is being controlled by, well, I'm not going to any spoilers, but where they are right now, I think Shigaraki would still take it. Where they end up next season, I mean, I think Deku takes it. But how cool would it
Yeah.
be to see an anime where like the villain just like stomps and then like the world just burns? That'd be cool. You don't ever see that.
Yeah. Never see that. That would be like a huge plot twist. Like, plot armor. I mean, of course, Deku is going to come out on victorious in the end. Like, how it happens, don't know yet. But, I mean, we pretty much know it's going to happen. But it could be. That would be a huge and awesome twist to see. Like, if it doesn't. Well, see, we got a question from Keaton. So since the Hashira is just a regular human, he can't win. You can no longer use that logic in the Superman versus Batman argument.
Well, if you ask me, can a Hashira beat Batman? I'm going to say no too, because Batman is not just a regular human. Batman is Batman. I need y'all to keep your negative comments out of here.
Oh, Stephanie Keaton, you're trying to start something for sure. He is right. Oh, then Tyler Edge with the let's pivot here with what's up, fellas. Hey Tyler, how are you?
What's up, buddy? Dude, so first off, Batman is not a regular human. All right, he is not. Let's go ahead and elevate him out of that category. Not a regular human. Also, like Hashiras have trained. They're great at what they do. They have perfected their specific style of being a Hashira. They go up against demons who have like supernatural powers and things like that. And also, if you are an anime fan and you have not watched Demon Slayer, say what you want, but like the demons are really cool. Their abilities are really cool, well thought out. Laser. That is not Steven. Oh my God.
Evans, 2 words, laser beams.
Keaton, this is your fault. I'm about to go on like a whole thing. This is your fault, Keaton. I just want you to know. First off, Superman would not shoot Batman with laser beams. It's not, his morality would not allow him to do that, right? And even if he could, let's say when Batman goes up against Superman, he has the armor, right? The super bat armor and stuff, and the laser beam, they're not gonna do anything. He's gonna be fine. He'll be good. Although still, Superman would not do that. Everybody looks at Superman versus Batman in a vacuum, right? Superman is stronger. Superman is faster. All those things. Although Superman is weak to a rock. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. A rock. can
Well,
like if I
well,
was
to
a
be
5-year-old
fair,
kid and I had kryptonite, I'm good. 5-year-old kid versus Superman with kryptonite, 5-year-old kid wins. Um,
yeah,
and
to be
Superman is the
fair,
most
Superman,
boring superhero.
yeah, but to be fair, Superman is weak to one specific type of rock. Superman could throw any rock at Batman and kill him with it.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. That's the thing. He wouldn't. Also, Superman is also weak to like magic, right? Like he's not indestructible. He's weak to magic, but the Rock is his kryptonite. You know. Um, but anyways, so we don't have to go all the way down this rabbit hole. Just know that Batman would beat Superman, and we can all just accept that and move forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're coming up on time, so we don't have a lot of time to, because that could be a whole episode in itself, right? Like all the different scenarios we could argue back and forth. I know you're dead set on Batman coming out victorious, but I just don't see it, man. I'm gonna have to side with Steven and Keaton and on this one and be like,
I
no,
got
there's too many variables.
I got to find new
But
friends.
Keaton did say a Hashira is a Hashira breathing
Dude,
flames, bro.
so look, no disrespect to Hashiras. They are amazing. Like on Demon Slayer, Hashiras are freaking clutch. Like they are amazing. But like I think Batman would beat Hashiras. I'm just saying. I haven't seen the strongest Hashira yet, and I cannot wait to see that dude because he looks amazing. Um, and I've heard great things. But ultimately, like I don't know if a Hashira with his sword could beat Batman. I just don't think it'd be done. And it's hard to talk,
Mm.
right? It's like comparing like 1970s basketball to like today's like there's just two different games. They're two different styles of, like fighting and like I guess animated abilities.
Yeah. Steven again. Because Superman is just stronger. Batman does not have superhuman strength.
Yeah, Batman also doesn't have a weakness to a rock. So here we are. Also,
Oh man.
Batman has a supply of kryptonite. Batman would not go into a fight with Superman without being fully armed and ready to best him. Again, plot
That's fair.
armor. Batman wins.
Oh, here we go. Jean Grey could take Batman as well. Batman is far from the strongest.
Oh, I agree. Caveat: I did say at the beginning, Batman is not the strongest, right? But also, I don't think Superman is the strongest. I think Superman takes the award for the most boring. But like, I think there's some other heroes out there who are stronger. And then what is strength? Like, I mean, Jean Grey is a beast. Let's be honest, and she's a metahuman. Jean Grey is amazing. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well,
So
we're a little over time, and I know you are traveling, and you got some excitement that you're going to see the space center, right? So I don't want to keep you too
yeah,
long. Do you have anything else you want to impart to the world before we hop off?
yeah, Joe. I don't think you told everybody what your favorite superhero is. I think you skated out without
Uh,
drawing any kind of hate like I did.
I mean, I said who I thought was the strongest, right? With some caveats and stuff. I didn't necessarily say my favorite. Uh, my favorite, low key, my favorite is probably either Captain America or Batman. Just
So I don't even like Captain America. Like if your superhero ability is just like let's go team, I'm just not here for it. I don't even like Captain America. I think he's super boring too. Like I know he's super strong, the shield is cool and all that, but I just think he is just a very boring hero.
I like his backstory, man. You come from this tiny peewee guy who like just wanted to just tried his hardest but couldn't just because of genetics, and then he gets this here or whatever, and now he's like freaking his dreams come true, superhero saving the world, man. That's kind of why I like him.
So let me. So
But
Joe, are you a
statement
hero
with
or
controversy.
anti-hero person? No,
Uh,
you know what, Faisal? I would love to hear from you. As long as you
I
side
know.
with me, please put it in there. If you don't side with me, I can't take any more of this heat today.
If I'm going anti-hero though, like Loki, I've always been my favorite.
I'm Deadpool. Deadpool is a monster. Like he
I
just can't be
mean,
killed. He's
but you want
skilled.
to talk
Like
about boring? Like he can't be killed. Like he's
Deadpool
not
is
boring.
not boring.
He's
Deadpool is
not
so
boring
far
because
away from
he's
boring.
He's hilarious, and like the Deadpool character, he just, I mean, it's well written. Like the character itself is awesome, but from a storyline perspective, you can't kill him. There's nothing you do to kill him. Like there's no story there. Like come on.
Yeah, his regeneration is crazy. Deadpool could solo the Marvel universe. What? Maybe not, but
No wonder they knew you would hate on it. Keaton, you were absolutely right. No wonder Joe didn't say his. He knew you would hate on it. Nate's always got some hate for us tucked away for some opinions, but it's all fun.
yeah, it's all in good
But
fun. I mean,
Deadpool could not solo. But no, that all they would have to do is lock him away under the ocean somewhere. Yeah, he's not going to die, but he's going to live forever, drowning repeatedly, and then it's done. Like
that would be awful. Let's talk about how terrible that would be. Just drowning over and over and over again. That'd be awful.
yeah,
Um,
that would be rough.
Well, guys, I know we didn't have any kind of like crazy awesome topic or anything today, but we didn't want to cancel our episode. So anytime we have anybody like cancel, it'll probably just be me and Joe on here shooting the breeze, hanging out. We appreciate all the questions. If you have any other questions, throw them out there for us now. We're happy to answer whatever real quick. But there will be more of this and some more great topics coming up that we're excited to talk with y'all about. I do have, plans. I have to go meet somebody here shortly. So I'm going to have to dip and all that. But if you have any other questions or anything here, like say the next 5 minutes, we're happy to answer and stuff. Again, we have cool shirts. And then also we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all those things that you can check us out. So if you ever miss us, you
Yeah,
can catch us there. And we appreciate all of y'all tuning in, hanging out, asking the questions and stuff like that. So we appreciate y'all.
yeah, it's been a blast, man. Y'all have a great rest of your week and good weekend.
Yeah. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a great Thursday.